Let's talk Psychonauts 2. Okay, who got a chance to play Psychonauts 2? I played it.
did.
Sean played it. MVG played it. Evan played it. Jeff played it. Okay, cool. Nate played it. Nate, you're raising your hand, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. Thanks for participating. All right, so what's everyone think about Psychonauts 2 then? Because it came out Wednesday, like I said, kind of a weird time for it to release. Dropped on Game Pass, PC, Xbox, or you can pick it up on the PlayStation as well.
Freaking love it. It's awesome.
It's a good game. It needs to be in Game of the Year contention.
Okay,
and
good.
People have been. It's so funny when I said that like a week ago, people were like, but now like the narrative is sort of changing on Twitter, and now it's okay to say that. And I'm like, come the fuck on, people.
Every game is like that this year, though. Every game is like one way or the other. They start mad and then they get nice about it. Or they start nice and they get mad about it, whatever. But yeah, I've been loving it. That's what I've been playing all day today. It's really good. It's inventive. You feel like they had a ton of ideas, and then you also feel like they had the money, time, and maybe some like extra help from Microsoft with just like manpower or whatever, person power to actually get it through and get those ideas executed on.
Because they originally delayed it, and I have a feeling it's because Microsoft was like, yeah, okay.
They said they gave him like, they gave him the bag to buy the company, but then they're like, here is a bunch of extra money to make sure that you can like take this game to the next level. And because this was a Fig crowdfunded game.
It was a crowdfunded game. That's the crazy thing. You look at it, you're like, wow, really?
But no, it got that extra sauce on top, and you see it everywhere you look in the game. Though it feels good to play. The voice acting is fantastic. The writing, you know that they're on like the 12th draft of every joke, because that's how solid the comedic timing is on everything. And then the ideas are just thrown visually throughout every level. Like they just spent so much time on this game, and it just looks really good too. So the art style is solid, but then they just continue to make it look better and better with graphical effects and everything else. I'm just really in love with this game.
Yep.
Is there no physical version, guys?
No.
There is not.
They are shipping physical versions to Fig backers, so I imagine that's going to happen.
You think they're going to have some hit stores?
Yeah, I think they probably will at some point.
Okay. Yeah, because I know because it's crowdfunded. I thought there was a physical tier that you could buy for that. Okay,
but right now you can't like walk into a store and buy it.
Oh, okay. Because I was trying to buy it, but I was like, where's it at?
Yeah, I grabbed it on Game Pass to start playing it. I thought about it like, if they ever do a physical copy, maybe I'll pick one up because it's.
I would.
It is legitimately like I was like, all right, like first Psychonauts was fun. I'll check this out. This could be like a fun little game to pick up. But I mean, this is like on the level of like Nintendo like Mario 3D platformers. Like it is that good.
I agree.
Here's the question. Oh no, you go MVG.
Well, I was just gonna say I forgot how amazing Tim Schafer is with games.
So good.
He's so fucking good. Like I remember playing Full Throttle, right? I love that game. I remember playing Grim Fandango. I love the hell out of that game. The first Psychonauts was fantastic. This is just so much fun to play, and it's just I think it's a real breath of fresh air that this game came out when it did. So I'm a big fan of this game. I definitely think it should be in the conversation for Game of the Year this year. No doubt.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yep.
We got to ask the question though. Psychonauts or Ratchet and Clank?
Oh man.
Do you think there's only room for one?
No, but if you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one right now, being where I'm at, I am still personally Ratchet and Clank because it was just a nonstop thrill ride for me, and it really like I couldn't put that down over the 2 days that I played it, like really a day and a half. I got the code early, sat down, played it, and I'm like, Mike, I got to do the review for this because I just love it so much. But as I continue to play Psychonauts 2, though, it started high, but it's like, okay, I'm getting into this. Every single level so far has been better than the last, and I think that's why people are saying it's in the Game of the Year contention. Because it just keeps getting better, and most games don't do that. Ratchet Clank started high, stayed pretty high, and by the end I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this 5-6 hour thing to be over, and I'll put it down or whatever. This one's apparently it's going to maintain this high level and go even higher over 10 to 12 hours. If it can do that for me, maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll flip, but right now I'm still Ratchet.
So
I kind of view it as like Ratchet and Clank is like a Pixar movie, whereas Psychonauts is kind of like a Tim Burton movie. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Ratchet and Clank has the big flair with the presentation and the graphics and things like that. But for me personally, I'm having way more fun with Psychonauts 2. I think the story is better. I think the writing is better. I think the characters are more interesting. I like the combat in the game too. I like how you're constantly getting new abilities and you're upgrading these abilities that also give you more abilities. It's not just, guns or melee or things like that. I really think Psychonauts 2 is a game of the year contender, and like if I had to pick, I would pick Psychonauts 2 over Ratchet and Clank.
I think right now I'm with you on that, Sean, because I was thinking about it as I'm playing through Psychonauts 2. I'm getting further and further into this game, and you're right. It keeps getting more interesting. The characters are better than what Ratchet and Clank has. The story, I think, is significantly better, especially with the themes that they deal with in Psychonauts. Like that game gets really dark sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like you're playing it, and you're like there are some moments, because I don't want to spoil it, but like at the end of certain parts of the worlds where like the characters don't even say anything and they have like the facial expressions, and you're just kind of quiet, like, sitting there in front of the TV, and you're like, oh, that was kind of rough. And I never got that feeling with Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank, the story was pretty straightforward. You're just going through, you're just
it's that Pixar movie, That
was fine. Like I think the combat and action is better in Ratchet and Clank, but I think the platforming, the story, the characters, everything else is better in Psychonauts 2. Visually, Ratchet and Clank is next level, obviously.
I would give the edge to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart right now, because Psychonauts 2, it's charming. The writing is very engaging. It has that classic old school feel to it that makes it really appealing. But and it can be, these are things that can be fixed. Overall, though, aspects of the game feel really unpolished. The combat is clunky, and
What?
Yes.
I don't think
there's not that much combat though. Like the combat, it's like you do combat for like a minute at a. Okay, I'm not going to interrupt Nate. You keep going.
But the sequences where there are the combat, it does feel clunky. Especially like I just did a boss battle, like the cooking one. The battle itself was kind of drawn out.
Yeah, that wasn't a great fight.
Far too long. And it's so reliant on the what is it? The grab mechanic. What do they call it in the game? Psychic grab.
The telekinesis. You have to pull things up.
The telekinesis. It really isn't that reliable. It doesn't feel like it has good feedback as to when you're actually on target to grab something. It feels slow. It feels janky. Like everything else, I mean, it's very well done. It's just the combat feels clunky when you are in those segments. And I mean, that's something that they can fix with a patch. They can smooth out some of this by adjusting whether it's momentum or anything like that. And some of the performance is a little weird. I had some pop-in, which I wasn't expecting on the Series X. I'm walking through the woods and all of a sudden grass is just popping in right in front of me.
In the woods, I had pop-in too, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the mystery. What's that area called?
Questionable area. Some of the bushes pop in after like a certain distance.
And I was like, okay, that was unexpected. So there's a little inconsistency, but I would say the visuals, like Raz's character model in the one-on-one sequences when they're talking, which almost looks like a cinematic, looks great. But then all of a sudden he's talking to another character in game, and all the texture work on his face is just gone. He looks flat.
You playing on that VCR again?
I'm playing this on the Series X.
Come on.
Series X.
You got that set to 120 frames?
No, I don't have a 120 frame TV. So I mean, Evan has seen similar things, so it's not just me.
Could be drunk though when you're playing it.
I'm looking as an outsider from this game, and I just watched a bunch of it right now. Like, it looks really cool. Like, I want to buy it, but I want to buy a physical copy.
Yeah, there are parts that are cool.
Yeah, it looks super fun. Like, the platforming looks really cool. Like, the art style is also very unique.
It's different.
Very interesting. Yeah, very different and unique art style. I mean, I still see Ratchet and Clank probably just getting the nod if there was to pick one, just because the graphics and how people think, But this is really impressive because this wasn't on my radar at all. I played the first Psychonauts a little bit, but I never was really into it. This is a good
platformer. So anyone who likes 3D platformers, you got to check it out. Like, it's on that kind of level. I understand what you're saying. I'd say the combat would be average is how I'd look at it, like passable. But I mean, it really shines with the 3D platforming and the puzzles that they have in the game.
The other aspects of the game are great. I mean, the writing, the actual environments that you go through, the characters you interact with, that's all top quality. And like I said, the stuff I'm highlighting is, it's nitpicky to say, the combat really isn't that great. There is some technical unpolishing with the pop-in and such, But I mean, they are there. They are something that you're experiencing while you're playing the game.
The art style changes in this game are insane. It's like,
whoa,
that's
nuts.
Will flip entirely from what they were to something else, and the way that they play on that stuff is so.
The worlds are very interesting.
It's something they focused on in the first game, and they definitely kept it for this one.
Yes,
even better. But now it's even better though because of the technical capabilities.
Dude, the first world. Yeah. I swear, everybody here looked at that first world, and you were trying to figure out if it was disgusting or not, right?
Oh yes, yeah. No, it was disgusting.
The dentist world, because I was at first, I was like, that's kind of cool. I'm like, is that disgusting? I'm not sure.
Yes,
because the zipper with the teeth, and I'm like,
wall. Yeah, absolutely horrifying. Yeah,
you go across the bridge of it. It's all falling apart.
Yeah.
It does have a warning in the beginning about dental phobia. Yeah. But I mean, OJ, I think you would like it a lot, dude. It has some really cool worlds to it, and the platforming is like top notch.
I tried to buy it, but I couldn't. I tried to buy it, but I could not buy the game. I can't buy it. It's not available for me to buy. And what would be a logical way to buy a game?
I think it's going to be in the conversation at the end of the year, though. Either way, as people talk about game of the year, some may even view this. It's weird because it's from Microsoft, but some may view it as like that indie game that gets in, kinda, because it was mostly developed without Microsoft, and then of course they came in and they're like, "I'll give you some extra time and money to get to the finish line." So it might be viewed as like that Hades game that gets in, kinda.
Do you think that this helps with that Game Pass game fodder narrative? That, I mean,
Well, this and Deathloop, those Deathloop reviews this week. Like, I know Deathloop is on PlayStation, but it's being made by Microsoft Studios. So when you look to the future, like, man, if they could have got Psychonauts 2 to be exclusive and Deathloop to be exclusive, and there was another like multi-platform game they released a little bit ago, like it's in my mind, that did pretty well. But if all those were exclusive, like, hey, Game Pass is doing pretty well. But since they are exclusive to other platforms or not exclusive right now, it's hard to count them. But if you sort of just like look at it from a little bit further back, it's like, okay, Microsoft's in a pretty good position for Game Pass to have some pretty solid stuff, at least from their first party studios going forward.
Jeff, that's exactly why the price is going to go up, because this is starting to get. We talked about this.
It's going to go up eventually, but not anytime soon. Not in the next 2 years.
I think it's going to go up in the. I think it's going to be because you can't be Psychonauts, Forza, Halo. You're going to get the Avowed. It's going to like Perfect Dark. Like the games are going to start coming.
That's not how they look at it. That's not how they look. Well, I mean, yes, if the games start coming to the point where they suddenly have 50 million subscribers, the price might go up. But it's going to take a lot of work for them to get to 50 million subscribers. They are not close to that yet. So they are much more worried about acquiring users than they are about acquiring profits from Game Pass right now.
This is getting kind of nuts, though, that they're just like. This is getting kind of nuts, though, right? Wouldn't you guys agree that it's getting kind of like, whoa, like?
I would. You know what I'd do?
2023 is going to be bonkers.
I'd cash in one of those Snickers bar for like a week on Game Pass and just download Psychonauts 2 there.
I've got a bunch of them. I've got
cash it in.
Pop-Tarts, old ones.
There you go.
I can use my Pop-Tart ones. Yeah.
Just cash it in for a week. Check out Psychonauts 2 and see what you think from there. And then whenever they make it physically, pick it up if you really liked it.
Okay, that's what I'll
That's what I would do. Yeah, cash it in. So great. The thing that's really interesting about this now is like Double Fine can make some games over there, and I wonder what their next project would be. They said they want to do a new game. I saw some people calling for them to make Banjo-Kazooie.
No,
I don't think they. I think they're going to look to do their. I mean, they have so much creativity. I don't think they're going to do another Psychonauts for a while. I think they're going to go do the
Brutal Legend 2.
That would be cool.
Brutal Legend.
That would be fun. I mean, I don't know.
I love that game, the first one.
Yeah, I like that game a lot too, actually, which was really funny at the time. But I kind of feel like they're just going to go make their own IP, like a brand new game.
Yes.
But I think maybe they'll make another. Maybe they'll just say, "Hey, we can even do a better Psychonauts and just make Psychonauts 3."
I feel like they'll do that eventually, maybe on the next Xbox or something. But like, they had mentioned they wanted to try doing a new game. And if you think about it, if Microsoft is like, "Yeah, go make whatever you want. Don't really worry too much about budgets," they probably got some good ideas. And I mean, you see what they did with Psychonauts 2. They could legitimately come up with like that quote unquote AAA game of the year style game one year with and they might become a multi-project studio too. Then might do another game like next to it. They could start preliminary coming up with like Psychonauts 3 while they work on another IP. So that's the most exciting part about this. Psychonauts 2 comes out, gets rave reviews, is very, very good. Where does Double Fine go from here, and what do they do with that kind of backing? So That's exciting stuff. Yes, everyone should play Psychonauts 2 because we're going to be talking about it at the end of the year, I'm sure. And play Death's Door. Play that one as well.
Oh, I wanted to mention, Mike sent me a fan, Mike. He sent me a code for Death's Door, so I wanted to shout out to him and say thank you very much because I know I was talking about last week. So I got a code from him, so appreciate the code for that. Thank you.
It's good. Death's Door. I mean, how long was that? Because I finished it. How was it, like 10 hours? It'd been like 10 hours. It was a good game, MVG. I think you'll like it.
I can't wait to play it.
Yeah. So definitely everyone check out Psychonauts 2. It's out now, available on the Xbox, PC, and PlayStation.